things right now is that Mike Ashley was failed to get an injunction to force Newcastle United to supply, his company with Newcastle shirts, and that's something that, in my opinion, was going to be a given. I didn't see really, where. Now, Mighty, when you gave us a while back when we brought the piece of news, you gave us a reasoning as to why you thought that he might get away with it, or might end up having his way in this case. What was exactly what was the reason that he was holding on to
No, I think
for us
I
to keep
gave you a reason why you
supplying?
wouldn't get away with it.
What was the point? What was it?
Which is,
How was he holding on to this? I mean,
but,
at some point in time, you would assume this guy would give up already. I mean,
well,
who
he's
cares? Nobody's buying shirts
clutching at
from
straws,
his
basically.
store. Certainly, Newcastle store.
So I was saying, I didn't think he had a leg to stand on, because the Scottish FA, the Welsh FA, Celtic, and Aston Villa, I think, they've all got tripartite deals with a strip manufacturer, and so how could they, the anti-competition legislation for what it is, how could it possibly allow those deals to be done, and then to say that our deal was anti-competitive when they have the exact same deals and have had for several years now? So I wasn't saying he had a hope. I was saying I didn't think he had any hope last week.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood you then. But yeah, I mean, what do you guys think about this? Paul. I mean, you can start. It was kind of. I mean, I guess I'm pleased, but I never thought that he was going to get his way.
Yeah. Anything that damages the fat control, that's great.
I mean, look, it's typical Mike Ashley. I mean, it's not his last time in front of all of this sort of thing, whether it be Newcastle, whether it be House of Fraser, whether it be bloody sports director, whatever. He's been in trouble a lot in his career for lying. He got Keegan took him to court, and that got proved that he lied. That was literally in court. And then the whole scandal with with his company, with the 0 hour contract. I mean, absolutely disgusting. Some of the horrible things that happened to people in his warehouses that he was more than aware of, even though he claimed he wasn't. But again, he got found out to be lying. People giving birth in the warehouses, people being forced to work ill. People being, forced into, pretty much slave labor in most cases, because of the forced things with 0 hour contracts that, again, benefits his greedy pockets. The COVID stuff, we were one of the only clubs that wasn't willing to go through the system of other clubs were. We weren't, Mike Ashley wasn't willing to take part in the whole thing that was set up for money, so people could have that. He wasn't happy with that. Again, one of the only owners in the whole of the Premier League that chose not to go with the furlough system. So he's just, this is just him as a human being. It just kind of, this is a person who one minute told Alan Shearer he had the job, go for a nice holiday, and then text him and say, "Don't think it's going to work out." This is the mentality of this chap. Finds out that Gutierrez has cancer, and gets someone else to text him to say he can't come back to the club. So this is the human being that we're talking about here. And again, it just feels like he's just got these petty things. I mean, he wasn't happy with like some of Staveley's comments about the Sports Direct signs when they first took over, because she was saying that it looks, it did look, God, it looks horrible. It was horrible. Our entrance, remember when he had the entrance with the whole of the whole Sports Direct thing over the entrance into the St James's Park, and it looked like a kebab shop. It looked terrible. And she was saying that you can't turn your head without seeing a Sports Direct sign, which is true. And he got in an upheaval about that. He got pissed about that comment. It's just gonna, he's just one of these people that just thinks he knows better, thinks he can put a lawsuit in. He thinks he just can do what he wants and just kind of get away with
Thinks
it.
he
Really.
can do what he wants.
Yeah. So anyone shocked that he was like, oh, well, they can't do that to me because Sports Direct can do what they want. I mean, this is the same chap who, even when he owned us, he wasn't willing to put our shirts in his most for shops. Even when he was even when he owned Newcastle, he'd rather have Chelsea, Man United shirts in his shops rather than Newcastle shirts. So he's, this lad is just, I've never known a guy who owns companies run so badly and still be rich. It's one of the weirdest stories. It's one of the weirdest things that exists in the whole of the UK. But yeah, it won't be the last time. He'll be up against another battle at some point when he no doubt does something stupid or whatever.
Yeah. Anybody else got something to say about this guy and in this, I guess, verdict?
Can you hear me?
About this whole supply thing? Yeah, man, we can hear you.
Clear as a bell.
Yeah.
I just remember when Mike Ashley bought shares in Rangers. He bought, I can't remember if it was 17 or 18% or something. And first thing he did, first transfer window, was loan 6 injured Newcastle players to Rangers and make Rangers pay all the wages. That sort of sums up his lack of ethics and his kind of, he knew he'd save money on it because he owned 100% of Newcastle. So, he's a bit of he's like the nugget in the toilet bowl that won't flush, isn't he? Can't seem to get rid of him. It's just clinging on for dear life, and we can't seem to get rid of him. So, hopefully, one day he'll move on to another nemesis.
Right. So Mighty Mag is saying, Chris, my leg has vanished. My full screen screwed up. Sometimes YouTube thinks you're a troll or like not in the in the back. It's like meaning like that you're not real. My camera's here now, damn it. That you're not real. So if you do it just automatically without thinking it, you just click. As soon as you get to the stream, I guess they think sometimes it'll show a 0 instead of actually showing the like. So I just tell everybody is that get into the stream, wait until we go live, and then like a minute later hit the like. That way YouTube thinks that you're a real person that's truly liking because you're engaged. And I guess they don't know that we already know each other, and we don't you don't need to test to give a like. But yeah, I've seen that happen before. So hopefully that gets sorted out for you. But Roy, do you have anything else to say about Mike Ashley and all that stuff?
I mean, it's been what 2.5 years, and we still hear his name. I just can't wait till he's completely gone. Him and some of the players he signed, and just a fresh start for this club. 14 years of complete shit. It was. It's probably the worst thing to ever happen to this club. I mean, have you seen anyone before him? When Hall was great, everybody before him was. But
well,
it's the worst thing to happen.
McKeague to a degree, but the thing is, back in the day then, the revenue, the TV revenue was nothing. The revenue was all bums on seats, and McKeague knew we had a captive audience, and they just lined their pockets with selling, the likes of Beardsley, Gascoigne, Waddle, Supermarket before that. That was Stan Seymour. But that whole dynasty, when there was only 1,800 shareholders at Newcastle, and they controlled 1,200 of them between the 3 families.
Now let me.
They were just as bad.
Now let me ask you guys this, because obviously when Ashley took over, I was a very young guy, very very young. Music Remix, who usually trolls, kind of is doing the same thing here, but I want the people that were fans way before my time that actually understood when he took over, because I was relatively young, and now I don't give a damn about finances. Imagine back then. He says, "You lot have a bad memory. He paid all your debts when he came in." Typical Toon fans. That's what he says. So anybody that's been a fan for a while, DX is 53, by the way. He looks young, but he's been so. Answer to Music Remix, who always comes and trolls us, but I just don't understand what he's.
Well, as per usual, he hasn't got a clue. Ashley came in and paid 132 million for the club. He didn't do due diligence, so he didn't see that in the books, completely legitimately, was 80 million pounds worth of debt. So he ended up paying 80 million more than he thought. That was debts that we had seen on the pitch, because under Hall and Shepherd, we bought players and were trying to win stuff.
Yeah.
We're still the only club in Britain, and I never get sick of telling people, the only club in Britain to have broken the world transfer record. And that was done on Hall's and Shepherd's watch. So, yes, they spent money. They thought it was a wise investment, and it certainly would have been. It proved to be, actually, when they floated the club. And Ashley should have known exactly what he was getting when he came in, and he still got out with a profit on what he paid for the club, including that £80 million debt, and he'd been taking conservatively £40 million a season out of the club for the 9 years, on average 40 million for the 9 years he was in charge.
Yeah.
So,
anybody
music
else would like
remix bollocks.
Again, it's just someone who hasn't bothered doing the research on what happened. I mean, as Wynne said, that's what happened at the start. And Mike Ashley was already trying to sell us within a year of taking us over. He knew he had made a mistake buying us a year in. And as we've already talked about, he had chances to sell us in the past. The same manner as at Man City, and I'm repeating myself here. He had the chance to sell to them. He fucked that up. That's his fault. That went wrong. Other people were interested, and he just didn't want to, shushing and putting money up.
I honestly don't believe he had ever any intention of selling us. All the times that he was saying he was trying to sell us, that by the second year he was in was the first 500 million TV money deal,
yeah,
which was just untold riches as far as he was concerned. And thereafter, he realised what a gravy train he was on. All he had to do was keep us in the Prem without spending any money, which is exactly what he did. And on the twice that he failed, the only time he actually put any money in was on the 2 occasions we got relegated, so that we could hold on to the players that were hard and get straight back up at the first attempt.
Yeah.
So I'm not having any. And Mike Ashley didn't write any millions off for us at all. None.
No.
He filled his pockets at our expense.
Yeah, and some of that money was from player sales as well. It wasn't all Mike Ashley putting money out of his own pocket.
No, his net transfer thing was by the time he left, it was somewhere in the. And it doesn't sound a lot now, I know, but at the time, it was when 35 million for Andy Carroll was a hell of a lot of money,
Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, there he goes, Music Remick, who keeps sending his little messages, money messages, that's he's definitely jealous. That's 100%.
We've got the money, we can't spend it, so
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
if that's an iceberg on his little emoji there, get on the iceberg and sink with it.
Damn. Anyways, I guess let's move on to the next topic in hand.